Hi guys, well, I decided to build something that we can call a ship, but in this case it's rather a boat. So ICM kit Kriegsfischkutter. Today we start and finish this kit in one go. Interesting that now this boat available in both 1 to 350 and bigger 1 to 144 scale. To painting options, we will choose more complicated option because it's more interesting, and only 27 details totally and length almost 7 centimeters. Small kit which might be useful in composition with bigger ships, kinda destroyers, or as a part of diorama. In the box we have instruction and only one small pack with the details of grey plastic. We can say it's kinda weekend kit, but if you decided to upgrade it, as I want it to do, so it takes more time and efforts. Short historical reference here. Actually this boat was popular and massively produced in its period. So let's make short pre-built overview of existing details. As a positive we have waterline option and a handler, which actually a must-have options for such a kits. Partial railings and well-detailed deck and wheelhouse. 2 AA guns we have here. Okay, let's start this build. Hull can be assembled by connection of two lower parts. And yes, I want to receive complete hull. Not the waterline version. Connection here is on a good level. Also, from two pieces we can assemble upper part of the hull, and then we can connect these two groups of details together. And I think there is needed small amount of putty to fill some small gaps. As for wheelhouse, I don't know why, but I decided to remove all plastic details where glasses could be installed, and I'm not sure whether this is a good idea, but why not? I hope this move provides a little bit more realism to this kit. And of course there is no transparent parts or decals in this kit, only details from grey plastic. So what's next? At this stage we have hull of this huge battleship. I added putty a little bit, and we have here vertical details for railings, which we will use later. And we have from the box such a handler or basement for this small kit. Well, we can glue it, or I decided to drill a hole inside, and a hole inside the hull as well. And in this cap, and I will connect them together with the help of small bolt. Let's do it. It gives us two things. At first we can disassemble this cap during painting process, because I want to paint it in a gold and the ship itself in grey color. Also in future, if we decided to convert this static kit as a part of diorama, we also would be able to remove this handler. I added here additional weight, so now all this construction more stable. Now we can craft railings here. We have partial railings on this boat, I mean that vertical parts present in this kit from the box, and we can add just horizontal elements that will improve this kit. As we have plastic partial parts, so the railings also could be crafted from plastic, we will take a piece of sprue and create extra thin wire from this piece due to heat from fire. From several attempts we can receive the piece of the thickness we need. Such a custom details with different thickness could be used in a lot of places in scale models, for antennas, for some railings, handlers and so on. When ready, most difficult part, carefully gluing of our prepared planks. I use here extra thin glue from Tamiya, but another good solution might be a super glue gel. At this stage I temporarily glued our unfinished cabin just for better visualization of the process. As a result we have such railings Now our boat look way much better. Also I decided to add cranes in rear section, and in front there should be one more crane. I don't know whether it would be possible to insert transparent crafted details, or maybe I leave it as it is, but now we can glue additional details from the top. Also we have here rescue boat in front section, and on the top a lot of details has this wheelhouse, entire aircraft gun on the platform, and on the platform in the middle of the ships, and railings which we have in the box. Looks not bad, but I think they are a little bit thicker than I want. Have to think about it whether it is possible to replace them, or maybe we will leave them. Well, unfortunately I haven't railings of the size I need to replace inbox railings on platforms, so I decided to leave stock part. Additional thing that can be added here is stairs. I have set of ship stairs and ladders in the same scale, so we can use them. Super glue gel might be useful here for connection. While we're building this small kit, just imagine how many of small details have bigger kits, destroyers, cruisers, or even battleships. Okay, added here several more details, stairs and ladders on wheelhouse, and even more details on the deck. ICM loves to forget some details on their models. They simplify them a little. Anyway, this kit not to be pretended as a highly detailed kit, I guess. There might be useful different metallic wires or pieces of plastic. Actually now we can paint this boat, and we have two painting options, by the way, grey single tone, and as for me more interesting option, two colored camo with different grey tones, which I'll try to do. So I covered everything with a dark grey color. This color would be visible on the lower part of the hull, and we have to add here masks to protect lower section, and paint upper part with a lighter grey tone. We can use here a narrow flexible modeling tape. Our task to protect lower part under the waterline. Hopefully connection seam goes exactly with the waterline, so we can easily apply here modeling tape. And later yellow tape to protect other parts. Looks not bad. Now we can paint all surfaces. For that I use neutral grey. By the way, ICM paints that recommended to this kit suited good for this kit. Another one layer of curved painted masks, as it's shown in instruction, and we can apply darker layer of the grey paint. The difference now poorly visible, but when we remove masks we will see that colors have a huge difference. Also I think that we can carefully paint deck section from airbrush. I use here light earth color. And when ready, the most satisfying procedure, removal of painting masks. And now we can reveal whether we choose correct tones and whether everything okay, and if there is no overpainting or some spots. So almost no overpainting spots, and of course on the deck we have to repaint small details in the neutral grey color again, which is not a problem. Also I'm thinking whether we need here oil wash, liquid oil wash, and I think yes, we can use it, but just a little. Also we can remove masks from the platforms. Yep, we have to repaint railings as well, also not a problem. And I think such a painting pattern is much easier than if you decided to paint wooden parts at first and then to paint other details in grey. Well, on my opinion. So I repainted in grey all other details that needed to be painted, and we have several more small details that need other colors. For example, for red and white details, I'll use here Tamiya acrylics or similar. For live buoys, for example, also we have inflatable boats here and several more different details. When all of them painted, we can cover whole kit with a gloss coat and try to add minimum amount of dark liquid wash to highlight relief of small details and the deck. Except wash, I decided to add small amount of oil paints. And after all, here is the result. So actually good kit from ICM with a high level of details, good detailing, but as usual, not all details presented in this kit that could be presented in such a scale. Well, just my opinion. I added here cranes, some pipes from metallic wires and plastic pieces, hull railings, lights. That black wires were provided from nylon socks. Flag from the piece of modeling tape which was painted in black and red. Of course, we added here stairs and ladders from photo-etched parts. Inbox railings on platforms, which better to change on other solution, I think. Basement was painted with the help of Vallejo Polished Gold game series after the layer of black primer. But due to beautiful ICM's deck, it became possible to paint it properly with the oil washes and oils. We divided here deck sections with oil and wash. I mean, it's possible to cover with oils random boards, so as a result, interesting kit. And no matter that there is only 27 details in the box, all works might take even more time than it was expected in the beginning of this project. And of course you can upgrade it as you want on your taste. I think only one detail left from the box, waterline option detail. If we talk about other similar kits, small ships, small boats in such a scale, we can find such as Schnellboot from Bronco, and it could be a good friend to this boat. Even we can try to build a destroyer and put it nearby, which of course requires much more efforts during building and painting process, or even we can compare such a similar kits in diorama, but that took much more efforts. Well, as for today, that's all. I hope you enjoy this project and the result we received. Thank you for your kind attention and good luck. See you next time. Bye.